Hello, welcome back to Truth Seekers Tea. My name is Kate and I'm thankful to have you here for today's Pick a Card reading. This is a channel that focuses on navigating relationships and personal growth. So if that's something that you are interested in, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But for today, we're going to be looking at how your person currently thinks you are feeling toward them. And we're going to start it off with an energy check-in to see your actual feelings, and then we will compare them to how your person thinks you feel to see how accurate their perception is, essentially. There will be an extended reading for each pile. There will be a Vimeo link in the description box for anyone who is interested in going deeper into their pile. I just want to apologize ahead of time for piles 2 and 3. I've been thinking about doing a channel membership option, and I decided against it or to wait on it. And so the intros and outros for these are a little bit choppy just because I wanted to edit out anything where I talked about it so it wasn't confusing. Just a heads up. Just want to let you guys know. But anyways, there are 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the Apparition Tarot with this Angel Aura point. For pile number 2, we have Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic Tarot with this Black Obsidian point. For pile number 3, we have the Affirmator's Tarot with this Bumblebee Jasper. So go ahead and take the time you need to tune into whatever pile you're feeling the most drawn to. The first part of the reading will serve as an energy check-in, but as always, you can just skip to the second part if you don't want to listen to that. I will have the timestamps linked down below for each pile. I will have each pile's extended reading linked below, and I will go into the topic of the extended reading towards the end, and it's just going to be based on whatever intuitively seems most helpful. So stay tuned for that if you feel like it's resonating. I will have the names of these decks linked down below and any other information about me. So without further ado, I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Apparition Tarot and this Angel Aura crystal point, then this is going to be a reading where we're looking at how your person thinks that you feel. And when I say your person, I mean the person that you came to this reading for, or spirit sometimes goes rogue and will give you a message that you weren't even asking for. So we'll both be here along for the ride. But anyways, we're going to start off with an energy check-in to see how you actually feel about this person. And that will also be able to help me both of us understand how accurate your person's perception of your feelings are. So let's start off, Spirit. Please tune me into pile number 1's. How does pile number 1 feel about this person that they have on their mind? How do they feel about them? I'm so excited to use this deck again. This is one of my favorite decks, honestly. It's been a while since I used it, so I'm excited. All right, but I kept seeing the 9 of Swords when I was shuffling, so we'll see. Okay, how does pile number 1 actually feel towards this person? With the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The 5 of Swords. The 7 of Pentacles with the 5 of Cups in reverse, or sorry, upright. Can we clarify the 10 of Pentacles in reverse? Okay, we have Death in reverse. So this is Scorpio energy with the 3 of Wands. Can we clarify the 5 of Swords? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Can we clarify the 7 of Pentacles? 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Can we clarify the Five of Cups? Six of Cups in reverse. And then I'm seeing both. These days I've been enjoying kind of looking at where the deck was cut and then the bottom of the deck energy. Okay. Interesting. So definitely a heavier energy coming through. I feel that this definitely is something to do with your past, with the Six of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Cups is making me feel like there's grief around the past. But it feels like with Death in reverse and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it's almost like you may be going through a time of transformation. And this may be like a difficult chapter or something that's been very familiar to you. Like I feel like it almost feels like you're leaving behind or you're processing the way that you aren't able to fully transform and expand with the Three of Wands without in some way maybe leaving. I'm not even getting leaving, but it's like the Ten of Pentacles in reverse is making me feel like there's something about like a long-term structure or tradition or family that made you feel like you weren't able to, it felt in some way like you weren't able to transform and grow and rebirth. And it's almost like with the Five of Swords here, like it kind of makes me feel like you feel like you're in like a lose-lose situation, or maybe like you feel that it's like really painful for you to maybe do what's right for you with the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, Page of Wands here. It's like I feel like, yeah, then the Fool yeah, literally, look at this. So we have like the Hierophant, and I feel like that's related to the Ten of Pentacles. And then the Fool in reverse, Page of Wands, it's like you're claiming your independence in some kind of a way, though, where it almost feels like you're being put, like it's like it doesn't have to be this way, but it is in this situation. It just feels like you are grieving leaving behind the familiar, but it's like what no longer served you. And maybe you've had to like pass up on an opportunity, or it's like, and especially with this question mark with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like wondering if there's a couple of questions. It's like, did I make the wrong decision, or am I going to make the wrong decision if I decide to kind of pave my own path and risk losing some sort of security that I've relied on for a long time? Like, it feels like there's some sense of familiarity that's giving like comfort, and this could be like in terms of self-esteem, but it also could be like materially as well, just like feeling like at the root chakra that you're in a good place. And it's almost like, I don't know if someone put you in an ultimatum, but it's like with this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like the only way, like you would miss out on an opportunity if you didn't transform and try to like see maybe like what's beyond this situation. Or even though it's like, give me a situation of like there's so much love and like there's so much history, but and maybe you feel like this person or this, like, even if it's like a group of people, it's like you might be feeling like they're kind of putting you in an unfair situation where it's like, I clearly have like an opposing, like, it's almost like you distinguishing yourself as an individual with your own individual path and opinions and thoughts. And it's like, when we have the Five of Wands, that's like a much more constructive kind of conflict where it's like, yes, everyone has their different ideas, but like that's where conflict is actually positive because we kind of are able to work through it and find a way to see it's constructive conflict, which is a part of everything in life, like a part of healthy relationships. Conflict is, but the Five of Swords is almost like winning at all costs, or almost like putting your foot down to a point where it's like, is it really worth potentially putting your relationship at risk because you're being like so ruthless in getting your point across or having your way? It's like a win or lose situation, like you're being stubborn, you know? And so I feel like there's this fear that you're having of like maybe being left out in the cold or ostracized, or like, should I stay longer in the situation? But it's almost like I feel like the reason why I'd want to do that is because I am up against this Five of Swords energy that like I know isn't gonna, like, may actually reject me or may be unfair to me if I try to go about this in the way I want to go about this. So that's what I'm picking up on. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So let's see how this person thinks you're feeling. How is pal number one's person thinking that they're feeling? The Lovers in reverse. The Ten of Swords in reverse. The Four of Wands. Yeah, I'm definitely picking up where it's like, I feel like this is either like someone that you have been in a relationship with, like there's already been some level of familiarity, or especially with the Four of Wands in reverse, it's like, yeah, this is just confirming what I was picking up from your feelings, because it's like, it's I feel like this is someone you have some shared community with, or you've literally had like a relationship with, but it feels like it's going through a transformation. And like, this is just like an example, but it almost reminds me of like not saying it's exactly like this, but it's like in high school when you've been in a relationship, like for some people, it's like you've been in this 3.5-year relationship, and it's like from your hometown, and it's like such your comfort zone, and like there is love, and like, but at some point it's like maybe one person is kind of ready to change things or expand. Can we clarify how pal number one's person thinks they're feeling? Yeah, the Nine of Cups in reverse. Can we clarify the Lovers in reverse? The Five Pentacles in reverse. Can we clarify the Ten of Swords? Yeah, you're walking away. Yeah, they feel like, yeah. Okay, can we clarify the Four of Wands? We have the Moon in reverse. Can we, the Cancer energy? Cancer, again, like representing the home and like almost like the comfort zone of like where you're emotionally comfortable. Can we clarify the Nine of Cups in reverse? We have Strength in reverse with Leo. And then the Knight of Swords in reverse at the back of the deck. Okay, so I feel like your person feels like they actually are aware of how you feel. Because this is just confirming what I was picking up earlier and kind of making me feel like I do have the pulse on the situation, because it's like your person thinks that you feel like not walking away or trying to avoid an inevitable ending would be a decision that was not based in love, that it's based in fear. And so your person thinks that you are feeling fear when it comes to the pursuit of your own personal happiness, the Nine of Cups. And like sometimes when the Nine of Cups is in reverse, for me, you guys, like literally sometimes I get up in the middle of the reading and like I've had a blanket that I've had from like childhood and I almost feel like I need to hold it during readings, and I'm just gonna go get it really quick. Which is actually kind of funny that, you know, I decided to admit that. I've never admitted that before, and so it kind of reminds me of this story here where it's like, you know, we like hold on to certain things that like just bring us comfort, and like it like grounds me, makes me feel safe. And it's like I just went, okay, and now this song is like, okay, yeah, okay, there's a song coming through that's helping. Okay, so I found the song, and like what I just started channeling is Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie. And it says, and I'm just going to read you some of the lyrics because maybe it'll give a little more context to situations. It says, the smell of your skin lingers on me now. You're probably on your flight back to your hometown. It says, I need some shelter of my own protection, baby. Be with myself in center, clarity, peace, serenity. I hope you know this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, myself and I. We've got some straightening out to do, but I'm going to miss you like a child that misses their blanket. But I've got to get a move on with my life. It's time to be a big girl now, and big girls don't cry. It says, the path that I'm walking, I must go alone. I must take the baby steps till I'm full grown. Fairy tales don't always have a happy ending, do they? And I foresee the dark ahead if I stay. Yeah. Like even if I stay, I can see that that's the wrong, the Ten of Swords, and like it can get bad if you don't, like in life situations, if you try to cling and hold on. This is actually such a perfect song, I think, for the situation, if you guys want to listen to it. Like the lyrics, I feel like are exactly what I was channeling. It's like having the strength to step away from the familiar, because it's just gonna get worse, or like even more unfulfilling, or it's gonna cause even more pain in the situation, or it's gonna cause more. It's almost like just that general thing in life, and like this is how I feel in life, is like if you try to resist your dharma, and like what I mean by dharma is almost like where your spirit is leading you, it's almost like it just gets louder and louder until you kind of answer the call. So I'm just gonna see if there's anything else. But it's just so funny that I went to my blankie. Like, do you guys want to see it? I don't know if that's weird, but like this is like the blanket I'm like always holding during my readings. And every time I'm like, hold on, I have to get up, and like I just want to hold it just because it makes me feel safe. But anyways, and again, this is why I said it kind of reminded me of like high school sweethearts having to come to terms with like going their separate ways, even though there's love. And it says, I like, this has nothing to do with you. Okay, and then it says, oh my god, look, like the little schoolmates in the schoolyard will play jacks and Uno cards. I'll be your best friend and you'll be my Valentine. Yes, you can hold my hand if you want to, because I want to hold yours too. We can be playmates and lovers and share our secret worlds. But it's time for, I'm getting the chills. It says, but it's time for me to go home. It's getting late and dark outside, and I need to be with myself, center, clarity, peace, serenity. I hope you know this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, and we've got some straightening out to do. But I'm gonna miss you like a child that misses their blanket. But I've got to get a move on with my life. All right, that's like mic drop, you guys. Like that's what's happening, I think. And I think your person understands. As painful as it is, they think you feel almost like it is scary. It is like this Five of Pentacles feeling, like, because like the Five of Pentacles in the original, and actually not even in the original, like just what's coming to my mind. And if you guys know Jess Puckett, the Chaos Witch, totally 10 out of 10 recommend. Like if you guys resonate with me, I like without a doubt that you resonate with her like messaging. I feel like we're like in something like some there's some sort of soul connection there. She doesn't know that. I've never talked to her. That's what I think. But anyways, like she's kind of talked about like the Five of Pentacles as leaving the church, like leaving the warmth of that church, and like almost, and even though it's typically kind of like a negative card, it's like being willing to face the journey ahead without that warmth and being provided for and kind of having that like comfort. It's like, but it's like she kind of has mentioned it in this kind of strong way where like sometimes that is like a rite of passage that shows a lot of personal strength. And it's like hard to make that decision to walk away from something that you have so much emotional investment in. And it's like your person thinks that you're at this point where you're kind of like facing your fears, or it's like you're feeling like you're revealing maybe what's been hidden. And like it kind of reminds me of like, you know, when you get like a feeling, like your intuition starts telling you maybe this, like maybe you need to do something, or like maybe like you're starting to feel a certain way about a situation, but like you really don't want that to be true, and so you stuff it down. This has happened to me before in a relationship, and like it was a relationship that I felt like, and actually like we knew each other from high school, and we like built a home together, and it was like so comfortable, but like my soul like needed more expansion, and like it wasn't, but like, and I started feeling that way despite we just built this foundation and there's so much familiarity and there was so much gentle love. I really did feel, but it's just that sad thing of like it's just not the best for the both of us, and it's like if it's not the best for one person, then it's not the best for the other person. And it's like the most loving thing is to be honest with like where you feel like you're being led. And kind of taking a tangent, but what I'm saying is with the moon there, it's like I was repressing that feeling. It kept coming up, and then I kept repressing it until I like broke down in tears and was just like, I think you know, I think we need to like go separate paths. And like it was one of those situations where like I cried like so hard, and it wasn't like this ending that was like bad, but it was like I still had so much love for that person, you know, like, and it's like it's just like sucks when your path, it's like but you have to be true to yourself, and you have to be true to like what your happiness is. And even though you're comfortable in something, it's like you still have to put yourself first, because it's a disservice to the other person to even stay in the situation, and like everyone's kind of living in like ignorance is bliss. But it's like you deserve to honor yourself. And so anyways, the way your person thinks you feel is like it would be the wrong decision. They feel like you're ready to walk away, and that you're kind of facing this fear, and that they think that you're feeling as well. They're like a little bit afraid with the Strength card in reverse. Like they feel like it's hard for you to feel sure about yourself. Yeah, Seven of Wands. It's like, yeah, your person feels like it's kind of hard for you though, like to feel sure about it. And like they kind of feel like you might be struggling to make the decision and like act on it and move forward. But I don't know if you guys are like just in the beginning stages of kind of figuring out what you're going to do in this situation. But your person currently thinks that like you're not really having, that it's like a hard thing for you, or it's like it does take strength to face the truth of how you're feeling. And like, I feel like this can be especially true for people that are used to kind of sacrificing their needs and feelings and like almost feel guilty for their truth and like what they want. And I think this might be the situation where it's almost like that's how they think you feel. What I'm not sure about so far is like your person's perspective on it. Like, they definitely know how you feel pretty accurately. Like, they know. Just so you know, they know. So exactly how you're feeling, your person knows that that's how you feel. Yeah, that's pretty clear to me at this point. That you're making a decision, you're trying to make a decision, and you know it might, maybe it will be a forever ending, but like, I feel like there's almost this feeling of you don't want it to be like, you don't want it to be this like pain. It's almost like you're walking away before it gets to this point of like burned bridges almost, or something like that. But I feel like this person feels that whatever familiarity I've been talking about, or whatever foundation or whatever from your whatever comfort zone, is no longer supportive to your individual happiness. And you're facing maybe the fear you have around, with the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Cups leads to the 9 of Cups. And so sometimes the first thing we have to do to get to the 9 of Cups is make that decision to go on a lonely journey. You walk the 8 of Cups alone. And it's like one of those moments where it's just like so hard, but like, it is the loving thing to do. And it's like, I think your person knows that you feel like it would be, to stay would be a lack of love for self. I want to add in, just before I close up the reading, well, I do feel like this person is pretty much aware of how you feel. Something I feel like they're maybe not as aware of, because like, you know how I described in your feelings, like it kind of felt like maybe you were being put in a position where like maybe you are feeling afraid, and I don't think this person is aware of that. Like, you might be feeling afraid that you will lose the relationship, or that maybe like the people will feel like they want nothing to do with you, or it's almost like, and this might be true or not true, I don't know. I just know that there's a part of you that's maybe, I don't know if this is real. You guys will know if this is real. And this could have to do with your own internal sort of fear. And like, and I felt this before, where it's like, if I follow my own, like what's right for me, and I put myself first, I feel like I have had like people around me, like, invalidate me. And like, it's almost like if I put myself first, they're taking that as like an attack on them, and like then they go into attack mode towards me, and it's like that's where bridges get burned. And so I feel like you don't want to burn a bridge with this person or this like situation, and I think you're like afraid of that, or maybe feeling that may be a pressure or something that might happen. Your person doesn't know you feel like that though. That's the only thing I just want you to know. So okay, anyways. But okay, so that's what I'm picking up on. I want to go on the extended reading. I want to see exactly how your person feels about you. I want to see what your person wants when it comes to you. And then I just want to get you guidance from spirit on this situation, and just give you reassurance on whatever you need to hear. So I'll have that link down below. But other than that, if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this. Also, if you can hit the like button, leave a comment. Those are things I do really appreciate. And it's been an honor to read for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Every Little Thing You Do is Magic Tarot with this Black Obsidian Point. This is going to be a reading where we're looking at how your person thinks you currently feel about them. So we're going to start off with an energy check-in just to see your perspective of this person. Or actually, we're going to look exactly how you feel about this person, and then I'll kind of use that to compare how accurately it seems that your person is understanding your feeling, and we can kind of compare and contrast and see where there's a misunderstanding or if they're on point with their understanding of you. So in this portion, when I'm talking about how you do actually feel about this person, I would use that as an opportunity to just make sure that you feel that this resonates with you, that it's that your intuition is pulling you in, essentially, or that you feel called to the reading, and then it feels confirmed. There will be an extended reading as usual. Before we get into that, let's first get into what are pile number 2's actual feelings towards this person. Okay, we have the Apprentice of Wands. See, in this deck, is this the freaking Page or the Knight? Okay, I feel this is giving Page of Wands energy, but we'll see as more cards come out. How does pile number 2 actually feel towards the person? We have the Elder of Pentacles. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the guidebook because all of the things are different on this one. Okay, so did my research and now I have a little key for myself. So for this deck, the Apprentice are pages, the Champions are knights, Oracles are queens, Elders are kings. So we have the Page of Wands and the King of Pentacles here. So how does pile number 2 feel? With the Nine of Swords in reverse. How do they feel? Okay, a couple of cards coming out. We have the Five of Cups in reverse. We have the Eight of Cups, the World, and the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay. That's just the way I'm intuitively feeling guided to lay this down. Okay, can we clarify the Page of Wands? The Nine of Pentacles. Can we clarify the King of Pentacles? The Sun in reverse. Can we clarify the Nine of Swords in reverse? King of Cups in reverse. The Tower in reverse here. Okay. Okay, so pile number 1, how are you feeling towards this person? Let me just tune in for a second. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose that every little thing you do is magic tarot with this Black Obsidian Point, then this is going to be a reading where we're looking at how your person is thinking that you're feeling about them. So before we get into that, we are going to be looking at how you actually feel about this person. And that should serve as a pretty good energy check-in for you guys. And then it'll help me see how on point your person's perception of your feelings really are. As usual, there will be an extended reading and it will go deeper into whatever it feels like we still need to cover. So if that sounds something interesting to you, you might want to check that out. But as usual, I'll still just have it linked down below. So how does pile number 2 feel towards this person? What are pile number 2's feelings? We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, I literally had to like body slam that to not fall off. Okay, we have the Apprentice of Cups, so the Page of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Cups in reverse. We have the Three of Cups with the Oracle of Swords, so Page of Cups in reverse, and then we have the Queen of Swords upright. Can we clarify the Six of Pentacles? Six of Wands in reverse. Can we clarify the Page of Cups in reverse? The Emperor, Aries energy. Can we clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse? Okay, the Magician in reverse. Can we clarify the Three of Cups? Eight of Swords in reverse. And then the Two of Pentacles at the back of the deck. Okay. I definitely feel like this is a familiar energy stream that's been, or like relationship theme that's been coming through on my channel. 1 second. And there's a feeling here of just, number one, overall, you feeling like there's a lack of reciprocity in the connection. And I feel like, especially when that's so close to the Six of Wands in reverse, it's like sometimes the Six of Wands in reverse can feel like not getting recognition that you deserve, not being noticed for what you've given, essentially. And there's almost this feeling here of maybe you feel silly, like with the Page of Cups in reverse, like maybe you felt like almost foolish for trusting in this person's maybe like character or what they're actually capable of. Because when we have the Emperor right next to the Magician in reverse, the Magician in reverse can be an energy of, it's a kind of a tricky energy, literally, because it can put on appearances. It can also kind of it can manifest things, but it's almost like it's through illusion, or it's through being a smooth talker, or being able to cast a sort of, it's like a magic trick, you know? It's like, it's something that is an illusion. And so I feel like now that there's been some kind of, with the Queen of Swords here, it makes me feel like you're seeing very much through this person at this point. But it may feel like you're either seeing this person as emotionally immature, or you're or both. You are feeling foolish yourself for seeing this as maybe falling for the way that this person seemed to you, or maybe overestimating this person's like power, I want to say, or overestimating this person's ability to create. And like, that's the Emperor. It's almost like this person came off like an emperor. And I found this like really interesting definition of Saturn. And I've been saying this wrong. I feel like I say certain things wrong all the time, but keep correcting me, you guys out there, if you guys hear me say something wrong. But Kim Kranz, I always want to say Kim Kranos for the Wild Unknown. She's just like a very inspiring creator, in my opinion. She creates, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar or have seen other readers use either like the Animal Oracle, or just like the circular kind of oracle cards that are archetypes. But anyways, she has this definition of Saturn, and it kind of talks about how nothing can, as like boring as it, not boring, but as restricting as it can be on like creative types, or as down to business as Saturn can be. It's like no creative project can really be born without the discipline that Saturn brings to things, and like the hard work and dedication. And I feel like that's a part of the Emperor energy, where it's like having structure and having character. But I didn't even say the point is that there's this one line that says it's essentially about becoming one's own central authority, where it's almost like you know who you are and you're authentic with yourself, and like you are a disciplined person, and what you see is what you get, and you are someone that's powerful and willing to like put the work in, essentially. So to me, it feels like, you know, it didn't end up being that. Yeah, I think you're healing. And I think if anything, you're feeling like this person, maybe like you've had to escape the situation. And it's actually interesting if you look at this, because it's like a lioness in the cage. Like you guys might feel like you kind of can't believe this person, like I want to say got the best of you, but I do feel like you have seen the light of day. Like I feel like you have seen with the Queen of Swords lens. You've kind of seen through the superficialities of the connection, especially the Three of Cups here. Like, especially if you met this person in like a social arena, or like there may have been like this lighthearted energy that was keeping things stuck, or like this superficiality here that almost made it hard to see through the fog of this Magician in reverse. But I think like now there's kind of this feeling of like, okay, but at the end of the day, I feel like I fell for something because I feel like what I put in is not something I got back. And I feel like, again, like I didn't get the recognition I deserved, or this person didn't make me feel special, or we didn't actually even build anything. And so the Two of Pentacles here, I think you're just thinking about your own priorities and you're making decisions in your life almost through this Emperor energy. It's like you're rising in this Emperor energy, and it's like you're kind of just probably making a decision about how this person fits into your life or how they don't, you know? So hopefully that gives some insight. And I want to say with the Eight of Swords in reverse, it's like, I hope I went into depth enough with that, but there's almost this feeling of not noticing that something was like a trap, or that you were getting like caught up in something in a way. Especially through this person's maybe lighthearted energy, or like, especially the Three of Cups there, like, or maybe they're friends, or just like their friends saying certain things about them, or I don't know, it's just this kind of lighthearted energy that could confuse things or be a distraction. And to me, it's coming through again with like the magician analogy, where it's like there's always like something that distracts so the magician can do his trick, and so you don't notice that there was a trick, you know? One second. Hearing the song Smooth Operator, where it's like, I'm sure you guys know that, it's like Smooth Operator. So I feel like there's something like that. And also what just came to my mind is, I don't know if you guys have seen Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, but you know when they get stuck at that one hotel, and if you haven't seen it, it's like, I'm pretty sure this is in like Greek mythology or something, but there's some kind of place where you can, and they portray it as like Vegas, and they're all drinking or eating this like fruit that keeps you stuck there forever and just like having the best time. And like, it's kind of like Substance in a way, but in the movie it's more like this like spell kind of thing, where it's like you kind of can lose track of time there. And like there's like, if you look around, there's people that have been trapped there, like there's like old people there that are still trapped in this like fantasy, like exciting, it's like distracting world, you know, kind of like Vegas can be, or like it's almost like you get addicted to this like fun thing. And the whole point is that in the journey with Percy Jackson, they forget like what they're doing, or they forget their original purpose, or why they even went there in the first place. And so I feel like that might be how you feel about this, is kind of like you're rebalancing yourself out, and like maybe you got caught up in this, but it's like something that you're trying to kind of assess and like look at and kind of wake up from in a way. But let's see how your person thinks you feel. You guys, I'm kind of afraid that my face is going to be like in this, or the top of my head. We don't need Aang coming out. I have a widow's peak, that's why I say that. But okay. So how does pile number two's person actually think that pile two feels? Two of Swords in reverse. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, I don't even know if I need to cover that. Probably not. That's like pretty, that's abstract already, I feel like. Okay, how does pile number two's person think they feel? Page of Cups. Ooh, I'm disliking this already. How does pile number two's person think they feel? Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay. They know. First thing I want to say is that like they know that a part of like, they know that you feel that you can't see clearly, or that there has been some wool pulled over your eyes, or that you are feeling unstable in some sense. And especially with the Page of Cups in reverse, it's like that's giving when you like have like a, like when you wear your heart on your sleeve, and it's almost like you get your, or like being like a hopeless romantic kind of. Can we clarify the Two of Swords in reverse? How does pile number two's person think they're feeling? And then with the Seven of Swords, are you kidding me? Yeah, okay, so we have the Fool here. We have the Eight of Cups. Interesting. Okay, and that might be like what they think you're not sure about. Okay, can we clarify the Queen of Pentacles? Yeah. Can we clarify the Queen of Pentacles? The Two of Cups in reverse. Can we clarify the Page of Cups? Okay, we have like a ton coming through. So we have the Hierophant in reverse, the Nine of Swords, and then we have Temperance in reverse. Sagittarius, Taurus energy coming through. Can we clarify the Seven of Swords? Five of Cups. The Hangman. Okay, so Pisces energy. So this person does feel like you're at this point where you're feeling stuck with this person. Like they feel, they think that you're feeling like you don't know how to move forward in the situation. And so you're kind of in limbo with this connection. I think this person knows that you feel like if you reveal the truth to yourself, it's going to be sad. Like this person is aware that maybe this person is aware of their trickery. Like this person is aware of how they may have kind of gotten you to see them in a certain way, or it's almost like they got around your boundaries, or they got around your usual, like, I don't want to say strictness, but like your standards. It's like you may have certain standards for yourself, or certain things that like you look for in a person. And it's almost like this person had you out of that, like with the Hierophant in reverse is how that feels. But it's almost like this person knows you're in that pain of maybe having to get the different perspective. Yeah, they know, they feel like there's nothing for you to do now besides either be stuck here or see a different perspective. Again, with Temperance in reverse, it's giving me this energy of not being in the right headspace, or things being rushed, or not having fully processed everything. I think this person feels like you are feeling unstable by this connection. Like this person thinks that you are feeling unstable, that you're feeling like you guys are not on the same page. I feel like your person thinks that you're deciding between walking away from this situation, recognizing that you guys are on the same page, or that it isn't what you want, or foolishly jumping in. Like I feel like this person, and I feel like this person almost doesn't want you to be okay, I don't want to get into what they want or not. I'm trying to focus on what the question is, but I feel like it's like, do I foolishly jump ahead? Or it's like you don't know what's best here. And so your person thinks that there is a part of you that is emotionally invested, but there's also a part of you that's like, if I'm being honest with myself, I think I have to kind of see maybe where I was naive, or I may, like, it's almost like, you know, when we lie to ourselves in order to avoid pain or regret or like sadness, it's like your person knows that once you kind of are honest with yourself, that you're gonna have to get a different perspective and you're gonna have to process it. Which I just, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like this person knows exactly what they're doing. Like, I feel like this person knows exactly how you feel. So if this person seems like they don't, they do. They know what they're doing. They know what game they're playing. Like, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Like, that's how it's coming through. We have Aquarius energy with the Fool as well. Yeah, and Pisces can just be that energy where it's like there can be a lot of illusion, or like it's very Neptunian and you can't really tell. It's hard to get to the bottom of something. And like I'm seeing this one card from an astrological oracle deck, and it's like it talks about how Neptune energy can just be so like nothing is, I don't know if you guys know anything about Pisces or Neptune. It's just this, it's this very magical kind of an energy, but it's also like an illusion, or like you can't really hold on to it, or you may end up being fooled. You know, like it's kind of like, it's also like, even imagine being in like a drunk state. It's like, think about like beer goggles, like that's just coming through right now, but it's almost like where you just are in this either altered state. And I feel like Pisces can be kind of related to that. And so that might be a part of this, but it also could just be like the overall energy of that, or like something about this person's aura that's kind of like intoxicating in a sense, or disarming is what I would say. And so I just feel like this person thinks that you're stressed about the level of commitment this person actually has to you. I think this person thinks that you're stressed that you guys aren't on the same page, or that there's a serious imbalance in the connection. That's how they think you feel. They think you feel that you guys are on a different page, that you guys might have different values, but that you fell for them like emotionally. And that you may have regrets for not seeing things sooner, or you may have like regrets in a sense in this connection. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, okay. Let's use this deck. So how does pile number 2's person think they're feeling? And it's, again, like they see you in this in-between state. It's very transitionary, where it's like, it's like you haven't quite made your decision, is how this person feels as well, though. All right, so how does pile number 2 think their person is? Okay, we have flying in reverse. We have bone collector in reverse. We have solitude in reverse. We have the golden palace. Okay, Wizard of Awareness coming through at the back of the deck. I'm hearing let it go for some reason. So there might even be an element here of like your person thinking that you're kind of over, it's almost like with this golden palace, it's like you're changing your definition of what you really value almost. But like, I feel like with solitude in reverse, I'm thinking of Frozen now, where Elsa is in isolation and she's like kind of having to keep her powers a secret in a sense. And it's like in this palace where she has to do that. And so I feel like this Eight of Cups and this Fool might also be this energy of like this person thinking that you're kind of on the brink of going on this solo journey where maybe you felt more alone even in this connection, where it's like, it's almost like, just think about Elsa, the character of Elsa, where it's like she has to like hide herself or has to subdue her own nature, and then think about how good she feels when she goes out on her own. And like that's kind of like the freeing of the social constraints. So with the Hierophant in reverse, that could be an aspect of it. Like maybe your person thinks that you are, there's like a new element being brought in here, almost of like, this may have something to, for some of you, it's coming through, like of realizing what really fulfills you, or like maybe you have a different non-traditional kind of path. This could be within love or just within life in some capacity, but it's almost like your person feels like you are feeling alone or misunderstood in this connection. And with the Bone Collector in reverse, it's almost like deciding you need to do something different, or it's almost like however long you need to kind of recognize that, to not go in the same circle over and over and over again. And I feel like with flying in reverse, I want to see okay, interesting. Okay, so yeah, I feel like your person, this is so interesting. So it's flying. It says you have the power to see things from a higher perspective. And it's like, again, it's almost like your person feels like there's something internal blocking you that's working for them, though, which is like kind of not what I like. I don't think this person is a good energy toward you. Like, I'm just not picking that up. I just think it's a waiting game on their part of seeing when you become aware of something. Because I feel like the Wizard of Awareness is about seeing circumstances as for what they are. Yeah, like once you become neutral, yeah, literally. Okay, so it's almost like when you are overexcited about things, it can be hard to see things clearly. But it says now that you're unencumbered by opinion or desire, you can see things more clearly. Yeah. Again, and it's like on the opposite of that, it's almost like trying to control the outcome. It says your soul knows best, sit still and observe. And so again, it's like this person knows that you're feeling like some of your awareness has been zapped, but you're trying to get it back. And I feel like your person thinks you felt isolated through this, or that you've been made to go through something alone, or that you feel almost somehow unseen or unfulfilled here. But it's almost like this part of you that's like, am I afraid to fly is what's kind of coming through. Or it's almost like the more bogged down you are and the less you embrace your own personal self and your own intuition and your own clear seeing, the more likely you are to stay stuck or continue to entertain this, is how this person kind of feels. You, if that makes sense. That's how they are seeing it. That's how they're seeing you in the situation, if that makes sense. So, okay, for the extended reading, I want to definitely like expose or see this person's true intentions towards you. I want to see like what their truth is in this situation, their intentions, whatever truth you need to know about this person, and then extended guidance on whatever you need to hear about the situation, this person, for your soul's journey, like whatever your spirit team wants you to hear. So other than that, I'll have the extended link down below. But for those of you that are just here for the YouTube, no worries. If you found this helpful or interesting, if you're able to hit the like button, leave a comment. Thank you so much to everyone who does that. Other than that, if you want to see future pick a card readings from the channel, I would love for you to subscribe. So it's been an honor to read for you, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Hello, pal number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Affirmator's Tarot and the Bumblebee Jasper crystal, then this is going to be your reading where we're looking at how this person that you have on your mind thinks that you feel about them and the relationship. So before we get into that, we are going to be looking at your perspective of your feelings towards this person, or essentially just your feelings towards this person in this connection. And that will be a good energy check-in for you guys and to help you feel more confident that you picked the right pile. And then it'll help me discern whether or not it seems like your person is misunderstanding your feelings, or, you know, I can kind of compare and contrast. So there will be an extended reading. I'll be figuring out the topic as we go along. So yeah, if you really feel like it resonates, then I would check out the Vimeo link to the extended, and we'll get into that later. Anyways, without further ado, okay, so how does pile number 3 actually feel towards this person in this connection? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We have the Hermit, Virgo energy, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Straighten things out. How does pile number 3 actually feel? Okay, so we have the Two of Swords in reverse, the Page of Wands in reverse. Can we clarify the Wheel of Fortune in reverse? The Chariot, okay. Cancer energy. Definitely so far what's coming through, it definitely it feels like you just feel like this connection is not naturally moving forward, or almost like the universe is not giving you the go ahead, or that there's a lot of blockages in this connection. And it's like there isn't really a clear path right now forward. Yeah, and it almost like with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it just makes me feel like either this might be a situation where if you're already in a relationship with someone, it might be this feeling of negative changes, or just like realizing maybe that there's a need to be alone, or there's a need to not just push forward or force the relationship. If this isn't someone you're already in a relationship with, I would just see this more as you're trying to build the foundation, or you're trying to get momentum in the connection, and it's just really not happening. And it's like, it's almost like nothing you can do, like you can't force this. And so there's really nothing for you to do besides sit in your own energy. And it's like the Two of Swords in reverse. It's like you don't really know what the next best path, or it's hard to see clearly what's going to happen next in this connection, or where the connection's going, or where even you are going. And I feel like with the Hermit, it just gives me this sense of like you only have insight into yourself almost, or like there's a not a darkness in like a negative way, but a lack of clarity in the connection. where it's only like one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Like, yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's definitely feels like there's blockages here. Can we clarify the Hermit? Again, the Sun in reverse. It's like exactly what I'm trying to say. It's hard to see with the Star in reverse too. It's like, it's not, it doesn't look good. I'm not laughing at you guys or the connection. 1 second. Sorry. There's just someone on TikTok that, like, you guys maybe have heard of them. I don't even know their names, but like they're these 3 sisters that have like the bikini line. And like she always goes, "It's not looking good, bruv." And like I'm just like hearing that, but like not like she'll always say things like, "Oh, do you wonder if he likes you? Does he do this? Blah blah blah." But it's almost like I'm not taking that literally. It's just, yeah, we literally but we do have the Star and the Sun in reverse. And so again, there's this lack of clarity, lack of direction, lack of hope as well. Okay, the Ten of Swords. Sorry, I'm not I have like the worst, like, just laughing at the bad. Like, I really do. But the Ten of Swords being here is pretty much speaks for itself. Like, that's a really, it's like maybe this connection just needs to end. Yeah, then we have the Queen of Pentacles here and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, okay, it's pretty clear that this isn't leading to a happy outcome, or it's like, this is definitely not what love is supposed to look like. It's almost like at some point in relationships, it's like it shouldn't have to be this hard is kind of the feeling here. And it's almost like you guys are just feeling like it's not meant to be. And like, maybe you just need to accept that. And like, it's almost like while you don't know exactly what to do next or where to go, it's almost like just focusing on your well-being and looking after yourself and your own stability maybe is the only thing you can control right now. And I feel like you are, though, thinking from this Queen of Pentacles lens, especially to the Ten of Pentacles being here as well, where it's like, I feel like you don't want, it just feels like the relationship is at this point with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, where whatever energy or seeds we've planted into something, it's like, it's obviously good to be patient with things to some degree. And like, that's what the Seven of Pentacles talks about upright, where it's like, you know, some things take time, and it's also about not prematurely assessing things or expecting things too quickly. But I feel like when it's in reverse, it's like, okay, but at some point you kind of got to pull the plug on the idea or recognize the lack of growth or the lack of progress, lack of success of a situation. And I feel like that's how you're feeling. And it's almost like not personal. Like, maybe it is, like, it is obviously because this is a relationship, but it's like you're being realistic, I feel like. And it feels like you're kind of open. It's like not ideal, obviously, but it feels like there's a sense of wisdom in this pile that, you know, you can't force things. Like, that's pretty clear with the Emperor in reverse here too. Like, you guys have enough wisdom, I would say, to begin to assess these things, like especially with the Queen of Pentacles. To me, it feels that it's not your first time around the block, or you've grown in wisdom to a point where it's just like, you're not going to be a fool forcing something or waiting on something that's going to disrupt, you know, the progress you're making personally, or, you know, you don't, yeah, it's just like the sign of like something's not meant to be almost when it's not moving or it's not flowing. And that's definitely how you feel, that the connection's not flowing easily. Okay, so, and when the Wheel of Fortune's in reverse, it's almost just like things out of your control too, where it's like, there are certain barriers or things that happen that are literally not in your control. And it's just like, okay, even if I wanted to. Okay, so how does pile number 3 think that, pile number 3's person think that pile 3 is feeling? Okay, the Knight of Wands in reverse. The Four of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles in reverse. How is pile number 3's person thinking that they're feeling? King of Cups in reverse. Can we clarify the Four of Cups? Six of Cups. Interesting. This is definitely a pile where my first statement isn't going to be, yeah, they pretty much understand what's going on, or like they understand your feelings, because I feel like there is a discrepancy here, but we'll get into it. Can we clarify the Ace of Pentacles? How do they think? Ace of Wands. Well, on some level, I think they know. Can we clarify the King of Pentacles? The Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Six of Pentacles. Okay. So it's interesting that I said it's not personal, because I do feel like this person is on some level internalizing your feelings about, like, towards the connection, which actually came through so incredibly not actually, like, it came, your feelings and energy came through a very mature lens that really isn't about like judging or like controlling other people. It's really about understanding. But I just feel like this person almost feels maybe like you don't see them as stable or like ready or something, or almost like you, like there isn't, like you have to give too much, almost like with the Six of Pentacles. Or it's like this person almost thinks that you feel like they're not like a charity case, but like you have to overgive in the situation. Yeah. And I feel like they think that you feel ready for something new. With the Four of Cups in reverse too. Like, I feel like this person thinks that you've been feeling almost bored, or contemptuous is a word that's coming through, but that didn't come through in your energy. So, but it's like almost this energy of, like I want to have fun, or like I want things to be more exciting or more lighthearted, or more, I want more happening, you know? I feel like this person also thinks that you feel like you have a lot of opportunity, a lot of options, or a lot of opportunities. This person perceives that you feel that way. And it's almost like to the connection then, it's almost like you've been, like the Knight of Wands in reverse, it's almost like you're restless for something to change, or they feel like you're restless for something to change, for something new. Yeah. And it's like, or maybe even that you're missing out on things, like you're missing out on opportunities in your life through this connection. Maybe they think that you feel like this person is immature, or just like not as ready as you are, or not as progressed in a sense. I want to clarify the King of Cups in reverse. Why do we have the King of Cups in reverse? Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, maybe they feel like you're not like openly sharing your feelings with them or something, or like you're keeping a mature external is like what I'd want to say they perceive you like. But it's almost like with the Eight of Swords, it's like planning your escape of the situation, or like I don't know if you've already been patient with this person, but it's like you're not this kind of person that's like, I'm just getting monkey mind here. I feel like that's probably why they put the monkey on this, because it's like, think about the monkey mind where it's like we can't really control our thoughts. Either it's like your person feels like they're not emotionally mature, that they don't really have a good handle on their emotional expression. Because they're for the Knight of Wands. With the Devil in reverse. Yeah, maybe that, like, again, there's more here around like breaking out of something that is holding them back. It's almost like this person feels like you want to detach from them, or that, yeah, like either that this relationship feels somehow constricting or is holding you back from other things, or it's like something about this person themselves is almost like not up to par in a sense, or maybe it's like you feel like they need to let go of certain habits, or that they're not. It's clear that they think that you feel ready for more lighthearted new energy. And maybe it's like you feel like this person, like I feel like you don't want, like from their perspective, it's like you don't want to have to process things emotionally for this person, or have to qualm this person's fears. Like it's almost like this person thinks that you feel like they are holding you back, either because they're not pulling their weight, or it's like they're dependent on you in some capacity. But it just almost feels like what I'm seeing is you would have to do extra work with the Six of Pentacles in order to have the same amount of lightheartedness and happiness that you could have on your own. Yeah. But again, the whole underlying thing is the Six of Pentacles here, where it's like they think you feel like there's a neediness to this person almost. And maybe like there's an obligation you feel, or like with the Six of Cups, if there is familiarity here, or like some kind of history or norm between you. This would be like more like if you've known this person for a long time, or if they're from your past, or like you have like a shared familial sense with this person, not like family, but like, I don't know, like you're from each other's hometown, or you just have a lot in common from your past or something like that. It just feels like there's some kind of status quo that's just not really working anymore. And it's like keeping up the status quo. And it's like, but this person feels like although you feel sweet feelings towards them, and although there are loving feelings here, it's almost like we have the Five of Cups at the back of the deck. It's like you may be ready to kind of move into the Five of Cups, even though it might be like painful emotionally. It's almost like you're ready for the new. Like you're willing to go through change and loss to gain something. Yeah, and they almost just think that you're ready for the new again. Why is the King of Pentacles? Well, it's just obviously in reverse with the Nine of Pentacles here. In reverse, it's like, again, this person kind of thinking it has to do with not being enough, like them not being enough, or not being stable enough, not having enough self-worth, or like maybe they struggle with self-worth or struggle with their finances in some capacity. Or like belief in themselves at the very least. And there's almost this feeling here, and like this doesn't have to be for everyone, but it's almost like your spirit and who you are is more ready to embrace new things and let go of things that aren't moving than this person's soul is. It's almost like this person, and this is just me objectively, where it's like, it's almost like they're not really willing to make the same risks as you, or be so independent, or it's like, it's almost like there's just a different level of need that each of you requires to move through life, or to seize the day, make things grow, and create new opportunities. And I just almost feel like, this kind of sounds mean, but it's like dead weight, where it's almost like if this person isn't tending to themselves, then or doing their own emotional work, working through their own fears, fighting with their own demons, fighting with what fears hold them back. It's like, then you're kind of in this zone of like missing out. This is just a really random example that I doubt is like spot on for anyone, but it's like, imagine a situation where it's like, I'm kind of getting this vibe of like not being super happy with how a relationship's going, and like making that known to the other person, and then them being like, I know, and like then they kind of like air out all like their like issues and stuff, and like you might get it, but it's like still like, and let's say that you suggest this person like, I want to do something fun together. Like, could we like go out on Saturday, like, and go do this thing? Like, that's kind of what's missing for me, is the lack of development or the lack of growth or the lack of opportunity. It's like they're not, they may explain to you why they aren't ready to do that, or like they can't afford to go to the concert, or for whatever reason they are unable to do that without, it's like they're just not in as a position like you, where you're more, it's almost like you have more space in your life, or you have more readiness for expansion, growth, to build something, to explore the new, to gain and to expand and grow, essentially. And I feel like this is a situation that's kind of like a drain more than it is something that's like you're investing energy in and then it's coming back to you. It almost feels like to sustain this connection, it means it can't grow, because you have to give in order for it to sustain, like not even for it to grow. All right, how does pile number 3's person think that they feel? We have building blocks. We have to the sea in reverse. We have yin. We have deep knowing, and then, yeah, a leg up. And that's totally what I'm getting, Treasure Island at the back of the deck. So, you know, this is kind of more spot on with what you are actually feeling. And I don't know if this is spirit kind of coming through, but it's kind of like a confirmation of what I've been saying here. Not surprised for a leg up card to come out, because a leg up card talks about the need for there to be interdependency in relationships and like an equal balance of giving and taking. And like also how like you don't have to do everything alone, essentially. If like when this energy is in reverse, it's this vibe of never receiving help. But I feel like it's coming up in this context with deep knowing in reverse. When deep knowing is in reverse, it's almost like when you're being overwhelmed empathetically by helping someone else. It's almost like they can only help to so much without their own energy diminishing or not progressing. And I feel like with to the sea in reverse, it's like, yeah, they just feel like when to the sea is in reverse, it talks about how if a boat has holes in it, the best thing to do is to repair those holes and then go for your trip. Obviously, it's not to push a boat, go to sea on a boat that has holes in it. With building blocks, it's like the foundation of the relationship needs to be solid. So, you know, when we're out in sea and everything's happening, at the very least, there's not literal cracks in the foundation. And so I also feel like with this Treasure Island energy, like I feel like this represents how they view your energy. And it's almost like this person, unfortunately, is more in the reverse energy of this card. And I just want to bring up this card's guidebook because it will say it better than I can. But it's like your person views you in this energy, and so do I. It says you've worked hard and acted on your unwavering belief in abundance. And suddenly in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You've uncovered the map to buried treasure and tap the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone in now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off. And I feel like that's why the King of Cups in reverse is coming through, because I feel like you've put work into navigating your inner life, and like any blockages internally to you, like your foundation of self is strong enough to where you're able to seize the day and seize the opportunities, and you're able to receive. But like when you're not in that energy, and I'll read the reverse, but it says blah, 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 blah. In all aspects of your life at this point, you have good fortune. And then I feel like that's the energy you're on the brink of, or this is an energy you've been deeply developing in yourself. Like this inner deservingness of abundance to a point where you're open to opportunity and you're also not afraid to like grow and shine. And then this is the reverse of the card, which I feel like is more of your person's energy. It says, poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough cast a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectations? Are you avoiding success because you'll grow so tall that others will want to cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in a fear that you will lose what you've acquired, so you hold on so tight that you miss the opportunity to expand? You're challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitations to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except for confinement in a prison of your own making. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. And I feel like that's like these new opportunities. And again, it's almost like this person, like you maybe feel like this person isn't as ready or open to just like thrive, and that's causing an imbalance. Yeah. And again, it's like a needy energy where it's like, it's keeping them in this needy energy where they have like, where their self-limiting beliefs are something they need to internally work on before this could really grow in a really positive direction. And I think your person is maybe taking it a little personally, though, is like what I want to say. Or they feel like, well, but of course they are, because it's like, again, it's like, it's almost like they feel like it's something inherent about them rather than something that they can change, which is not true. So for the extended reading, I want to see what this person's current intentions are towards you, what their next actions are going to be towards the connection. And I want to see what your best path forward is, or what guidance spirit has for you when it comes to this connection and your journey and your path. So I'll have that link down below. Or if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with whatever pick a card readings are coming out. If you enjoyed this reading, if you're able to hit the like button, leave a comment. Those are just free ways to support the channel, and to help me better understand how you guys are receiving the videos. But other than that, it's been an honor to read for you, and I hope to connect with you again soon.